Hello everyone. Welcome back to another lecture on reasoning ability and problem solving. In today's lecture, we will discuss some examples from assumptions and statements. So let us begin. So direction is given to us. It says that the question given below consists of a statement over here followed by two arguments. So two arguments are given to us, 1 and 2. You have to decide which of the argument is a strong argument and which is a weak argument. So strong argument is basically the one that will give support to the original statement, correct? Strong argument will give support to the original statement, whereas weak argument will undermine the original statement, right? So we have to identify which will support or weak the weak the given statement. Okay, now let us look at the question. The question asks, statement is, should the railways in India be privatized in a phased manner like other public sector enterprises? So the question asks us that the railway sector in India, should it be privatized like other public sectors are being privatized, or it should remain the way it is as it is? So the arguments are given to us. We have to identify which of the arguments will follow. Okay, which of the argument is a strong argument or a weak argument? So the first one says yes. That means it is reflecting upon a strong argument, right? In support of the statement. So the first one says yes, this is the only way to bring in competitiveness and provide better services to the public. Now focus on the word only. Is privatization the only way to get competitiveness and provide better services? No. There are many other ways. You can monitor things, and you can bring in schemes to make things better. It is not the only way. If the language was that yes, this is a good way to bring in competitiveness and provide better services to the public, then it would have been a strong argument. But the word addition of only makes it a little extreme. Only makes it a little extreme, or I can say it makes it a little exaggerated. So if the word only was not here, then it would have been a strong argument. But since the word only is added, it is a little too extreme, therefore it is not a strong argument. Okay, second says no, so weak argument. No, this will pose a threat to the national security of our country, as multinationals will enter into the fray. So again, this is also a extreme statement. This is a extreme statement. How will privatization lead to threat of national security? Like, it is a big words. National security threat. Privatization does not lead to security breach or anything of that sort. So this is also not a weak argument or a strong argument, right? So neither of them poses as a strong or a weak argument. So if I look at the options, option number 4 says that neither 1 nor 2 is strong. So neither of the arguments is a strong argument. Okay, so answer will be option number 4. Okay, so if you look at the solution, it says privatization would no doubt lead to better services, but saying that it is the only way is wrong, right? And argument does not hold, and argument 2 also seems to be vague, because we were talking about threat to national security. We were talking about threat to national security. It was a vague statement, an extreme statement, right? So therefore second one is also not correct. So neither 1 nor 2 is strong. Okay, moving on to example number 2. Statement is given to us and two course of actions are given to us. We have to identify which course of action will be correct. Which course of action will be correct? Course of action, also known as decision making. So we have to make a decision as to what will be the appropriate response to this particular statement. Okay, let us look at the statement. The statement says that there have been many instances of derailment. Derailment means that the train gets down from the rails. So there has been many instances of derailment of trains due to the landslides in the hilly areas, which cause loss of many lives. So this is a problem. Now we have to look for a solution. We have to identify which of the decision we should make in order to solve this problem, which should be the appropriate course of action. So the first one says the railway authority should arrange to deploy pilot engines before the movement of passenger trains. So before we take out the passenger train on the rails, we should take out a pilot engine in the hilly areas to alert the trains in case of any landslide. So this pilot engine, what will it do? It will basically look if there are any landslides, and it will be giving alerts to the passenger train. So is this a correct course of action? Yes, we can adopt this method. Basically, we can adopt pilot engines, or you can say trial engines. So what they will do is, they will keep monitoring the rail tracks before the passenger trains arrive. So if there is any landslide or any sort of problem, they will alert the passenger train. So this is a correct course of action. The second one says the railway authority should strengthen the hill slopes by putting iron meshes so that the loose boulders do not fall on the track. Is this a correct response? Yes, this is also a correct response. So both these options can be taken. We can either allot a pilot engine, or what we can do is we can put iron meshes so that loose boulders means big rocks, loose boulders, any big rocks, any debris do not fall on the track. So we can adopt this method also. So both of them are correct course of action. So if I look at the options, option number says only one follows, option 2 says only 2 follows, option 3 says either 1 or 2 follows, and option number 4 says neither. So answer will be either, because both of them can be adopted. Both of them are good courses of action. They are appropriate responses. They are appropriate responses to the statement. Okay, so either of the two methods can be adopted, or even both methods can be adopted. So if there was an option, let's say both 1 and 2, that would also be correct, because both of them will serve the purpose. What is the purpose? To alert the trains, to alert the passenger trains, to make them easier for them to avoid any loss of human lives. Correct? So clearly, let us look at the solution. The solution says clearly either something should be done to alert the trains well in advance in case of landslides, or some means should be adopted to prevent blockage of tracks during landslides. Thus, either 1 or 2 follows. So this will be the answer. Okay. Example number 3. Example number 3, statement is given to us. 2 arguments are given to us. We have to determine which of them are strong or weak arguments. Okay. What is the statement? The statement says, should all infrastructural development projects in India be handed over to the private sector? So we are talking about again privatization. Should all the infrastructure, please focus on the word all. Should all the infrastructural development projects in India be handed over to the private sector? Let us look at the arguments. The first argument says no, the private sector entities are not equipped to handle such project. Now again, if you look over here, the private sector entities are not. Okay, this is a straight up statement that is saying that the private sector won't be able to handle the infrastructural development projects. But it is again an extreme statement. It is again an extreme statement, because this may or may not be true. They can be equipped also, they cannot be, there is a possibility that they are not equipped. Both of them are possibilities. So this is an extreme statement. Second one says yes. So second was in favor. It says yes, such projects are handled by private sectors in the developed countries. But then again, India is a developing country. India is a developing country. So how can we compare the needs of a developed country with a developing country? So this is a vague statement. This is a vague statement because it is comparing India's progress with a developed country, whereas the needs of India and other countries can be different. So both of them, I think, neither of them support the statement. Neither of them are strong arguments. So if I look at the options, option number 4 says that neither 1 nor 2 is strong. So this will be the answer. Option number 4 will be the answer. Okay. So let us move on to example number 4. Example number 4, statement is given to us. 2 assumptions are given to us. We have to identify which of the assumption follows. Which of the assumption follows. Assumptions are preconceived notions that are already there in the mind while forming the statement. Okay. So statement says nobody can predict as to how long a country would take to contain the unfortunate and disastrous terrorist activities. So statement says that it is difficult for the country to predict as to how long we will take to Contain means to remedify. To remedify, or you can say to basically to solve the problem of unfortunate and disastrous terrorist activities. So we have to identify which of these assumptions will follow. Assumption 1 says it is impossible to put an end to terrorist activities. Again, the use of the word impossible is extreme. If the word was that it is difficult to put an end to terrorist activities, it would have been a correct assumption. Because over here, definitely it is written that it is nobody can predict how long it will take. So, definitely it is a tedious, it is a difficult task. That is why it is difficult for us to predict the length of how much time is required. So it is a difficult task. So it is difficult to put an end to terrorist activities, but the use of the word impossible is extreme. So this will not be a correct assumption. So you have to focus on small words also. You have to look at the words. Words like only, impossible, definitely, 100%. These are words that are extreme, that are extremely either positive or negative. So we have to avoid such situations until it is mentioned in the statement. Okay. Second one saying efforts to control the terrorist activities are on. Can this be assumed from statement? Yes, definitely, because we are talking about that we are not sure as to how long it will take for us to contain the unfortunate incidents. So if we are assuming or we are calculating the time, definitely we are making some efforts in that area. So efforts to control the terrorist activities are on is the correct assumption of this particular statement. Okay, so if I look at the options, option number 2 says that only assumption 2 is implicit. This will be correct. Implicit means inside the statement, or you can say already present. Implicit means already present. That would be a better description in the statement. Okay, implicit means already present in the statement. Okay, so answer will be option number 2, only assumption 2 is implicit. Okay, so solution says the statement expresses concern over the issues as to when our country would be able to curb terrorism completely. This means that efforts are on definitely, and it is quite possible to put an end to terrorist activities, although it could take longer. So only assumption 2 is implicit. Assumption 1 said that it is impossible. The use of the word impossible was incorrect. If we use the word difficult, that would make more sense. Okay, moving forward to question number 5 or example number 5. Statement is given to us, course of actions are given to us. We have to identify which one will be the appropriate course of action. Appropriate response, basically. Okay. Now, statement says it is necessary to adopt suitable measures to prevent repetition of bad debts. Bad debts means loans that are unpaid. Loans that are unpaid. Or you can say defaulted loans. So it is necessary to adopt suitable measures to prevent repetition of bad debts by learning from the past experiences of mounting non-performing assets of bank. So what a non-performing asset? Again, it means loans that are not repaid. Loans that are not repaid. Okay, loans that are not repaid. So loans that are not repaid. This is what you mean by bad debts also and non-performing asset also. So the statement says that we need to adopt certain suitable measures in order to prevent the repetition of bad debts or repetition of loans that are not being paid by learning from the past experiences of mounting. Mounting means that there are large number of loans that are not repaid to the banks. So there are a lot of loans that are not being repaid to the banks. Banks are in loss. Therefore, we should take some necessary suitable measures to avoid it. So we have to identify the correct course of action. First one says, before granting loan to the customers, their eligibility for loan should be evaluated strictly. Is this correct course of action? Definitely yes. If we are giving loan to someone, it is our duty to understand the nature of their requirement, whether they should be given a loan or not, whether they should be able to repay the loan or not. So we have to make sure, we have to strictly check the eligibility of that person, whether they should be granted a loan or not, based on their repayment capacity. If a person is there and we are sure that he or she will not be able to give back our money, why would we lend them? So from a bank's perspective, from a bank's point of view, it is important for us to understand the requirement of the person and then grant the loan based on their repayment capacity. So first is definitely a course of action. Second one says, to ensure the payment of installments of loan, the work for which loan was granted should be supervised on regular basis. So this is also correct. If you are giving a loan to someone, okay, let's say you have given 10 lakh rupees to someone, and that person is saying that I am using this money to build a, let's say, a hotel. Okay, I'm using this money to build a hotel. So would we wait for the hotel to be completely built and that person to give us the money? The appropriate step would be to keep on checking. So I will do monthly visits, maybe I will do monthly visits or even bi monthly visits to make sure that the hotel is being built at the right pace. The money that I have provided to that person is being used at the right place at the right time. So it is my duty. If I am lending money to someone, it is my duty also to check whether that money is being used in the correct way or not. So to ensure that the payment is made, if we are supervising on a regular basis, that also makes sense. So both of them would be the correct courses of action. Okay, both of them would be the correct courses of action. So if I look at the options, option number 3 says that both 1 and 2 follows. This will be my answer. Okay, this will be my answer. Clear? Example number 6. So statement is given to us, two assumptions are given to us. We have to identify which of them is the implicit assumption or which of them is the correct assumption. Okay. The statement says the state government has decided to appoint 4,000 primary school teachers during the next financial year. So the state government has decided that they will appoint for approximately 4,000 primary teachers in the next year. So first assumption says there are enough schools in the state to accommodate 4,000 additional primary school teachers. Is this a correct assumption? Yes. Because see, if we are employing someone, we have to make sure that we are providing them with the infrastructure. We are providing them with the infrastructure. We cannot just employ someone and tell them to work from under a tree. We cannot do that. If we are hiring someone, we need to make sure that they are given proper infrastructure. They are provided with facilities that is required for their work. So if 4,000 teachers are being hired, definitely there will be enough schools for them to work into. If I am hiring 5 teachers, I will have 5 open positions. I will have 5 subjects that I need teachers for, right? So if the state is appointing 4,000 teachers, they will definitely have certain schools in which they will send these teachers, right? So first one is the correct assumption. First one is the correct assumption. Second one says the eligible candidates may not be interested to apply as the government may not finally appoint such a large number of primary school teachers. So this again is a vague statement. This is a vague statement, an unnecessary statement. Whether the person would be interested to apply, whether they will get a job or not is secondary. This has no relation to the original statement. Correct? This is in no relation to the original statement. So only assumption number 1 will be implicit. Okay. So let us look at the options. Option number 1 says that only 1 is implicit. This will be the correct answer to this question. Clear? That only 1 is implicit. Example number 7. Example number 7 says there is a statement and there are 2 assumptions and we have to identify which of the assumptions will follow. Statement says private property trespassers will be prosecuted. So trespassers means people who pass a property or people who visit a property illegally. Visit a property illegally. So if you have a house, nobody has the right to come in your house until unless they are invited. So If you have a private property, trespassers or people who visit a property illegally will be prosecuted. Prosecuted means punished under law. They will be punished under law. Okay. This was a notice on a plot of land. So this was a notice that was there on a plot of land. Okay. So two assumptions are given to us. We have to identify which of them will follow. Assumption number 1 says the passers nearby may read the notice and may not trespass. So is this correct? Definitely yes. If we put up a notice, we put this in the faith that people will read it. Why is it called notice? Because it is under your notice. We have to make sure that if we are putting up a warning of sorts, people will read it. That is the entire purpose of that warning, right? So passers nearby may read. Again, may read is used, so possibility. They may read the notice and they may not trespass. So this is correct. Second one says the people are scared of prosecution. Now see, the threat that is given in the notice. The threat is that if you visit my property illegally, I will prosecute you. I will punish you under the law. I will file a case on you, right? So I am assuming that the other person is scared of law. The other person is scared of being filed under law, or for being prosecuted. If we are making a threat to somebody, okay, if we make a threat to somebody, don't do this, otherwise I will call the police. What is the assumption? The assumption is that the other person is scared of police. Only then my threat will work, right? So the people are scared of prosecution. This is a correct assumption, because if people were not scared of the prosecution, this notice would not make any sense. So this notice implies that the people are scared of prosecution. That is why this threat is being used. So both of these assumptions will be correct. Both of these assumptions will follow. So if I look at the options, option number 3 says both 1 and 2 are implicit. This will be the correct answer. Okay. So if you look at the solution also says that any notice is displayed assuming that people will read the notice and also follow the content. So that is the whole purpose of the notice. So 1 is implicit, and the notice threatens any trespassers to be prosecuted. Therefore, second is also implicit. Okay. Example number 8. Example number 8 statement is given to us. It says vegetable prices are soaring in the market. Soaring means increasingly high. Increasingly high. So the prices of the vegetables are increasingly high in the market. Okay, this is given in the statement. First conclusion says vegetables are becoming a rare commodity. Rare commodity basically means the unavailability of a vegetable, correct? Unavailability of a vegetable. So if it is becoming rare, that means it is unavailable. Sometimes the prices of a material or a product increases even though we have a lot of it in the market, depending on the need, depending on the requirement. For example, let's say Holi. It is a festival in India, right? During Holi we get colors. And we get colors in lot of quantity we get colors. But the prices that of colors during Holi, even though it is in abundance, is much more than what would cost you throughout the year. So if you go to a shop and buy certain colors throughout the year, it would be cheaper for you than to buy it at the time of the festival. So even if it is in abundance, still the price is high. So we cannot link price with unavailability. That is not mentioned in the statement. So prices and availability cannot be linked together. Therefore, this is not the correct conclusion. Okay. Second one says people cannot eat vegetable. Again, it is a vague statement, is an extreme statement, because there are certain people who are rich who do not care about the price of the vegetables, and people will definitely eat vegetables. They will not stop eating vegetables just because the prices are high. So this is also a extreme statement. So neither of the conclusion will follow. My answer will be option number 4. Neither conclusion 1 nor 2 follows. Okay. Example number 9. Example number 9 statement is given to us. Two conclusions are given to us and we have to identify which conclusion is correct. The president of XYZ party indicated that 25 independent members of legislative assemblies, so MLAs, 25 MLAs are seriously considering various options of joining some political parties. So there are 25 MLAs and they want to join some party. Which party is not specified. So some political party they want to join. Okay. Now, but in any case, all of them collectively will join one party only. So they will join one party only. Okay. All these 25 MLAs will join some political party, one party. All 25 of them together. Conclusion 1 says the 25 independent MLAs will join XYZ party in a short period of time. And the second one says the 25 independent MLAs will join some other political party in a short period of time. So either of the two will happen, right? Either of the two will happen. How? Because these 25 MLAs will definitely join a party and they will join a party together. So either they will join this original party, which is the XYZ party, or some other. So either XYZ or some other. So either one of the two will be correct conclusion. So if I look at the options, option number 3 says that either conclusion 1 or 2 follows. This will be the correct answer. Because either conclusion 1 will be true or 2 will be true. Right? Example number 10. Statement is given to us. We have to find the correct appropriate course of action. It says if the retired professors of the same institutes are also invited to deliberate on restructuring of the organization, their contribution may be beneficial to the institute. So basically, it says that the retired professors should be included or should be considered for giving certain opinions about restructuring of the organization. And whatever contributions they provide, it may be beneficial to the institute. Correct? First course of action says management may seek opinion of the employees before calling retired professors. So see, this is a may or may not happen. This is a basically a possibility. The management may seek opinion of the employees or they may seek opinion of the retired professors. So this actually is not a course of action per se. This is just a general statement. So this will not be correct. Second one says management should involve experienced people for the systematic restructuring of the organization. This definitely is the correct course of action because this particular statement is suggesting that involvement of experienced people, that means retired professors, is important because we need to systematically restructure the organization. So this will be the correct course of action. So if I look at the options, option number 2 says that only 2 follows. This will be the correct answer. Okay, this will be the correct answer. So clearly the statement stresses that the contribution of the retired professors shall be beneficial. So if it is beneficial, management should involve their experience to make sure that the correct systematic organization is happening. So this concludes today's lecture. Thank you.